Okay, good evening. So let's start the revision of a higher education section, Unit 10. So this is me, Krishma. For those who don't know, I usually teach teaching aptitude and higher education. So let's start with our revision. Pardon me? Okay, so let's start. Is the slide visible? Can anyone just type the reply in the chat box? Audio also clear, right? No problem. Okay. Okay, so these are the focus areas. And these focus areas has been selected based on the various questions that has been asked in 2023 in the latest examination. Based on that, the focus area has been selected. So institutions of learning in ancient India, we have learned about this in our class, and we know the division of the period: Vedic period, Buddhist period, Jainist period, and we know what are the subdivision that happens in the Vedic period. What are the subdivisions? Early Vedic period and later Vedic period. Later Vedic period is otherwise known as Brahmanic education or Brahmanic education period. Okay. So we can expect one question from Vedic period or Buddhist period. Rather than Jainist period, more chances are there to get question from Vedic and Buddhist period. So give more focus to those areas. Never skip any area, but when you are revising, give more focus to these areas. Okay. Then education commissions, you know that pre-independent commissions and post-independent commissions are there. So give importance to education commissions. Then different types of universities are there. We have discussed that in our classroom: private university, deemed to be university, then meta university is there. So go through those notes and recall about different types of universities, and we can expect one question from different types of universities, and just collect some notes about different types of university, just to identify. If they ask which among the following is a state university, you need to identify that. Okay. Then NIRF ranking is important. You need to be aware of the latest ranking. Then GER, gross enrollment ratio. The latest gross enrollment ratio is 28.4%. So this is the latest. Earlier it was 27. Now the latest is 28.4. Then we need to focus on conventional and non-conventional. So application type question we can expect from this conventional part, and value education also you can expect application type question. Then professional, technical and skill based education, related to this they can ask questions about agencies, schemes, etc. Then policies, governance and administration, nodal and statutory bodies like UGC, AICTE, role of these agencies, abbreviation. So questions related to these can be asked. So when you are revising, give focus to these areas and these aspects. Okay. So let's move. Let's revise slowly. So since this is one of the important area, we will revise some of the points. So we know that Vedas are the source of knowledge, and the etymological meaning of Veda is knowledge. Teaching method, the important teaching method was oral, and there was one question that was asked: which method, which modern method can be compared to the ancient oral method? So the answer is lecture method, and the education passes through three stages: Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. Then initiation ceremony of education, Vedic education, it is known as Upanayana ceremony or Upanayan. Then in some test, Upanayan ceremony, it is only practiced for three varnas, first three varnas. Okay, which are the first three varnas? Remember the Chaturvarna system, which are the first three varnas? Yeah, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishyas. Okay, and those information were given. That means only these three varnas can undergo Upanayana ceremony. That education, that information was mainly based on medieval-based test. But in ancient ancient textbooks and all, they have given importance to the idea that Upanayana ceremony was given for all those who were interested to have education for all. That means whether female or male from any varnas, like all the four varnas, they can have Upanayana ceremony. They can undergo Upanayana ceremony during the early Vedic period. We are speaking about early Vedic period. So during the early Vedic period, what is the Varna classification? It is based on by birth or by job. Early Vedic period. Job. Very good dear. It is based on job. Early Vedic period, the Varna classification was based on job. Very good. And later Vedic period, that means during the Brahmanic period, this classification, Varna classification was based on birth, by birth. That means by that time, that means during the later Vedic period, it became more ritualistic. Caste system came. So Varna system was mostly based on, that means it was focused on by birth. Okay. So for Varnas, early Vedic period, Varna classification was based on job. Later Vedic period or Brahmanic period based on birth, ritualistic, and discrimination also started. Okay. So all these are the basic ideas by which you can answer statement type question and assertion reasoning type questions. Okay. So next, elements. This question was asked in 2023. So focus, elements of religious training and imparting of traditional knowledge in early stage. So while explaining about this area, we discussed this idea that religious training and imparting of traditional knowledge, but they have given another term for this, Paravidya and Abharavidya. Okay, so Paravidya and Abharavidya, the idea is same, religious training and imparting of traditional knowledge. The idea is same here, but they have used another term. That's why you got confused last time. So what is Paravidya? Paravidya is the when we why we are giving the traditional knowledge. I have already told you that the ultimate aim of education during that period, Vedic period, was oneness with the God, oneness with Brahman. Okay, so that kind of knowledge is Paravidya, and Abharavidya is any kind of knowledge related to traditional knowledge, material knowledge, virtues, etc. That is limited to the finite world is known as Abharavidya. Okay. Now, two types of tutors, or tutors were mainly sages and scholars during this time, and education was imparted orally. Okay, palm leaves, and then later, for initial stage during the early Vedic period, oral education got more importance, and later Vedic period, written form of education came into being. Palm leaves and barks of trees were used for writing. Two types of education existed, formal and informal. Main centers of education, of course, we know Gurukuls, then temples, pathshalas, stalls, chatushpadis. All these are examples of main education centers during the ancient period. Okay. So sources of knowledge. This question was asked last time, and the same with the same option, which among the following is the exact question I forgot. Like the source of knowledge, the question was like this: from which among the following, during the early Vedic period, which among the following was used to, I think, you used for collecting information for various subjects, something like that. Okay, regarding the source of knowledge itself, the question was, and the very same options were there: Vedas, Brahmanas, Upanishads, and Dharma Sutras. Okay, so all these are important sources. I while discussing in the classes, I told you that Brahmana is not a caste; it's a text. Okay, Vedas, Brahmanas, Upanishads, and Dharma Sutras. Okay. Then salient features. focused on holistic development, overall development of the child. That means inner self and outer self. They focused on everything. Character development was important. And during that time, distinction was made. This was also a question, statement type question. Distinction was made between Shastras. All these things we discussed in our class. Okay, so this distinction was made between Shastras, learned disciplines, okay, science subject, and Kavyas, imaginative and creative literature. There were distinction made between science subject and a literature subject. Okay, and Vedic age, Krishna Dvaibayana, popularly known as Vedavyata, he categorized that period into, he categorized Veda into four: Rig Veda, related to mantras or hymns; Yajurveda, rites and rituals; Samaveda, musical form of Rig Veda or music; Atharva Veda, special class of test, which deals with medicine, magic, special ritual, even kingly duties are connected with the Atharva Veda. Okay, so now let's answer some question. What is the etymological meaning of the word Veda? Very good. Can someone send me the YouTube link? Is it possible for you people? Yeah, okay. I got it. Okay, so what is the answer? Knowledge. Very good. Option B. Knowledge is the answer. Okay, next. The roots of Carnatic music. Next question. Roots of Carnatic music can be traced back to which Veda? YouTube people, which Veda? Upanishad, Aranyaka, Samaveda, Atharva Veda. What can be the answer? Roots of Carnatic music. Okay, so what is the answer? Yes, very good. Sama Veda. Sama Veda is related to music. So the roots of Carnatic music can be traced back to Sama Veda. Very good. Next, Vedanga. So last time also they asked questions about Vedanga. So what do you mean by Vedanga? Vedanga were created to know more about Vedas. Okay, like a reference book. So it has 6 auxiliary disciplines, which are they? Shiksha, Chanda, Vyakarana, Nirukta Kalpa, Jyotisha. Shiksha, Chanda, Vyakarana, Nirukta Kalpa, Jyotisha. Shiksha related to phonetics and phonology, pronunciation. Chanda, metrics or musical science. Vyakarana, grammar and linguistics. Nirukta, etymology, explanation of words, etc. Kalpa, ritual instruction. Jyotisha, astrology. Okay. So Ayurveda was taken from which Veda? Ayurveda was taken from which Veda? Samaveda, Atharva Veda, Yajurveda, Rig Veda. Any answer from the YouTube babies? Okay, let me check. Okay, multiple answers. That is the answer. Ayurveda. How to connect? Special class of text which deals with medicine, magic, special rituals. Medicine, magic, special rituals. So what is the answer? Atharva Veda. Option 2, Atharva Veda is the answer. Okay. Okay, next question. We have just discussed it. Nirukta, Chanda, Shiksha, Kalpa. Last year also a question was asked from this area. So what is the answer? Go through the option and select the correct answer. So what is the answer? Is it option 2 or option 4? I'm getting multiple answers. Think and answer. Nidukta, Chanda, Shiksha, Kalpa. Okay, Maushmi is saying option B. Option B means option 2, right? Okay, yeah, let's check. So option 2 is the right answer. Okay, so A, Nidukta. Nidukta is related to etymology, right? Then Chanda is related to metrics. Then Chiksha is related to phonetics, and Kalpa related to ritual. Kalpa, ritual. In class, we used to give gestures and all, no, to remember hand, eye, ear. There are certain organs connected to all these Vedanga. Remember about, connect that knowledge, then it will be easy for you to remember. Okay. Chanda was based on leg. Remember? Okay, so next question. Given below are two statements. Statement 1, in ancient India, education was free. Statement 2, in ancient India, education was centralized. In the light of the above statement, choose the most appropriate answer from the option given below. Okay, so what is the answer? Okay, option. Okay, YouTube baby. YouTube babies, answer fast. Okay, Maushmi, option 1. Option 1 means both the statements 1 and 2 are correct. Okay. Yeah, let's check. And here I'm getting multiple answers. Option 4, option 3, option 1. All the answers are here. Okay. So in ancient India, education was free. Of course, in ancient India, education was free. Mainly during the Vedic period, it was free. During the later Vedic period, we know that Guru Dakshina system came into being, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't like the fee system that we are having now. So normally education was free during that time. And so first statement is correct. Okay. In ancient India, education was centralized. I told you, no, whether they have to give education for Vaishyas, whether they have to give education for Shudra, whether they have to give education for everyone who are approaching them, it depends upon each Gurukuls and each ashram. Okay, each institution has their own syllabus and their own way of teaching. Okay, so we can't say that it is centralized. Now there's a university system, and every colleges under that university has to follow certain rules, right? So a centralized system we are having now. Under UGC, there are certain rules. Universities have to follow rules. Each institutions under university have to follow their own rules. But when we compare it with the early system, it wasn't centralized. Each institutions or ashrams or gurukuls, they have their own way or their own syllabus, their approach, and how to teach, whom to teach, they can decide that. Okay, so it is not a centralized way. So what is the answer? Option 3. Statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. Okay. So as I have said, education was often provided in a decentralized system with different schools and institutions catering to different communities and social classes. So there were different types of schools such as Gurukuls, where students lived with a teacher, Pathshalas, different types of institutions, different ashrams. So that's why it was in a centralized manner. Okay. So now we are moving to the Brahmanical system. So when it came to the later part of the Vedic period, the Brahmanical education system, what happened? Ritualism came into being, and that ritualistic way paved way for differentiations, and people started to lose their position, like women and Shudra, they lost their position in the educational sphere. So all these differentiation and all these problems that created because of the ritualism that and the caste system, that paved uh, way for the rise of Buddhism. Okay. So life of Buddha and his teachings were taught in Buddhism. Purpose of teaching was to attain salvation. Okay. Buddhist teaching resulted in a system of education called Buddhist education imparted. So the basic education was imparted in Buddha Sanghas and higher education in Buddhist Viharas. Important institutions were Nalanda, Takshila, we know that Ujjaini, Uddandapuri, Vikramshila. We learned about so many institutions, right? Mithila. So revise about all those institutions. They are asking question, and we learned about foreigners who visit this country like Fahyan, Huang San, Yi Jing, their works. We and which who was the scholar, who was the traveler who came to Nalanda, stayed there, and learned yoga and some other subjects from that institution, and taught also. He stayed there for almost 5 years. We discussed this in the class. Who is that person? Do you remember his name? Very good. Huang Sang. Huang Sang is the person who visited, who stayed there and studied and taught. Okay. So we then learned about three types of Buddhism or three branches of Buddhism, and we learned how those classification occur, or how that development occur. We learned about that, and we learned about that their meetings, first meeting, second meeting, and all. We discussed that also in the classroom. So three branches are Theravada, Mahayana, Vajrayana. Then Hinayana Buddhism is also there as the least vehicle, and Mahayana Buddhism was the main vehicle of the institution that is based on, that means temple related education center, we can say. We have discussed about educational, that means temples used to impart religious type of education and all. We explained about those ideas, no? So this is also an ancient institution which has a close connection with temples and Hinduism. This institution, this university has a close connection with Hinduism and those ideas and ideologies. So that was the answer. Next question. Medieval school. Can you see the slide now? Oh, there's some problem with my PPT. You can see, right? Yeah. Okay. So medieval school of discussion and logic is the title associated with which University of India? Medieval school of discussion and logic. We have discussed this in our classroom. What is the answer in YouTube? Sunanda, option B. Takshila. Okay. Anyone else from YouTube? Okay, Anupriya, Nalanda, Vikramshila, Anitish. Okay, yeah, let me check here. Okay, mixed answers. You forgot, right? You remember while discussing, we explained about the idea that in this particular institution, scholars used to discuss about various topics, and the discussion was a tool or a method using which they used to learn new ideas. They used to learn new topics and all through debates and discussion. So which is that institution? Remember? It is Nalanda. Okay, I don't know why the animation is not working. That's why you can't see the answer. Answer is Nalanda. Nalanda is known as the medieval school of discussion and logic. The answer, why it is called as medieval school of discussion and logic, the answer is that the scholars who used to live in that institution, they use discussion and debate as a tool to gain more knowledge, higher knowledge. Okay, so that's why this institution is known as Medieval School of Discussion and Logic. So what is the answer? Option C, Nalanda is the answer. Okay. And which is the institution that is having large dormitory where 10,000 people can be stay there. Do you remember which institution has the largest dormitory facility? YouTube. In YouTube, can people say which is that institution that is having largest dormitory facility? And this institution, it was more like our modern university setup. And here, entrance examination were conducted for admission and all. Can you name which is that institution? Nalanda. Yeah, very good. The answer is Nalanda. Libraries were there, laboratories were there, and large dormitory were there, and admission were based on. That means it was mainly like our modern university setup. Okay, entrance exam was there, and based on the entrance examination, people were admitted to the university. Okay, yes, very good. Anupriya, Priyo, PGC post, very good, very good. Okay, now we are moving to our Charter Act of 1813. So we know there are certain acts, certain commissions that we have to learn, which is more important. They can ask question. They can ask question. There will be one question from this commission related area, evolution of higher education. This is that part. Okay. So which of the following is the main objective of Charter Act of 1813? Promotion of science, to rule India, revival in Indian literature, both A and C. Okay, let me check. Okay, and Priya has commented that both A and C, option D. Okay, here, Riya, Pooja, Mubin, Nirmal, Malesh. Okay, okay, option 4 is the answer. So, the main objective of Charter Act of 1830 was the promotion of science and revival in Indian literature. Do you remember a particular amount was allocated? How much amount was allocated for this purpose? Yes, 1 lakh rupees. Okay, Charter Act of 1813, also known as East India Company Act of 1813, an act of the Parliament of the United Kingdom which renewed the charter issued to the British East India Company and continued the company's rule in India. Okay, so we explained about how much rupees were allocated, 1 lakh rupee, and they permitted Christian missionaries to propagate English and preach their religion. The power of the provincial government and the court in India over European British subjects was also strengthened by the act. Okay, this act paved way for the establishment of college in Calcutta, and now which is known as Presidency University since 2010. Okay, now we will move to Macaulay's Minute. I'm sorry if I'm speaking too fast because we don't have time. We have to cover. So Macaulay's Minute. Lord Macaulay came to India in June 10, 1834 as a law member. Statement type question. All these can be asked. What was his position when he came to India? He was a law member. Okay, of the Governor General's Executive Council, appointed as the President of the Committee of Public Instruction. He was entrusted to settle down the dispute between. So there was a dispute that was happening, Oriental and Occidental controversy. That means in the Charter Act of 1830, it wasn't specified in which language should be the medium of instruction. The science and literature should be taught in which language. The scientific knowledge should be inculcated with the help of which language. What should be the medium of instruction? That wasn't specified. So there was Oriental Occidental controversy. To subside that, Macaulay came here So he submitted his famous minute in February 1835 to the council, which was approved by Lord Bentinck. Okay, so he stressed on the implementation of English language as a medium of instruction, and English learning would lead to emergence of a class of people, according to him, who may be interpreters between the Britishers and the millions, whom we govern, a class of persons in Indian in blood and color, but English in taste, opinion, moral, and intellect. So the idea of infiltration or filtration theory is based on Macaulay's minute. Downward filtration theory or infiltration theory. That means education will be reached to the masses, to the downtrodden people in the form of, in a filtered manner. From the higher class people, in a filtered manner, they will get education. Okay. So which of the following is known as the Magna Carta of English education in India? Magna Carta. It is easy, right? Magna Carta. Which of the following is known as the Magna Carta of English education in India? Okay. The answer is Wood's Dispatch. Wood's Dispatch is known as the Magna Carta of English education in India. And Sir Charles Wood, he was the MP of British Parliament and the President of Board of Control. He played an important role in the female education in India. Implemented this Wood's Dispatch was implemented during the tenure of, who was the Governor General? Lord Dalhousie was the Governor General when this dispatch was implemented. Okay. So the year also, please note down, 1854. Wood's Dispatch, 1854. Okay. So based on the recommendations of Wood's Dispatch, London Model University, this was a question that was asked last time. Based on Wood's Dispatch recommendation, a London Model University should be, they recommended that London Model University should be established. So at which cities they demanded that? Bombay, Calcutta, and Madras. So in 1857, University of Bombay, Calcutta, and Madras came into being as per the recommendation that was submitted by Sir Charles Wood. Okay. So which among the following is the statutory function of UGC? To appoint teaching faculty in universities, to control the conduct of examinations in universities, to determine and maintain the standard of teaching and research in universities, to develop curriculum for university courses. Yeah, very good, Anupriya. Your observations are right. Very good, everyone who are commenting. Okay, what is the answer for this question? Is it to appoint teaching faculty in university, to control the conduct of examination in university, to determine and maintain the standard of teaching and research in university, to develop curriculum for university courses? Okay, let me check here. Okay, mixed answers now also. Yeah, so what is the answer? Option C is the answer, to determine and maintain the standard of teaching and research in university. Okay, so that is the answer. Option C is the answer. So someone was asking me what it mean by statutory body. It is an organization that is created by law. Okay, and it has the power or the authority to implement legislation on behalf of a country or a state, and they can be government organization or non-government organization. They are often established to perform specific functions that the government believes are, we can say, more effectively carried outside of a traditional departmental structure. It just means that they have the power to implement some actions on behalf of the country or the state. Okay, they have that statutory power which is regulated by the law. Okay, is it clear? Yeah, example, RBI is a statutory body, UGC is a statutory body, our General Medical Council is a statutory body. They can regulate and take actions on behalf of the governmental, that means state and government. Okay. Okay, next is NIRF parameters. Now we are moving to NIRF. So what do you mean by NIRF? Can you tell me what is NIRF? What is NIRF? It's easy. National. What is NIRF? National. Some ranking framework. What kind of ranking framework? Yeah, National Institutional Ranking Framework. Okay. So here are the parameters based on which they are selecting the institutions. So NIRF, it is a National Institutional Ranking Framework based on which the performance of the institutions are seen, and then they are ranked according to their performance. So what are the parameters based on which these institutions are ranked as number 1, number 2, and all? Okay, or that means overall basis, university level, college level. We have seen this ranking and all, right? So what are the parameters? Teaching, learning, and resources, TLR. They will be, they can ask full form also. Okay, so what are the parameters? Teaching, learning, and resources, research and professional practice, graduation outcome, outreach and inclusivity, perception. So these are the parameters based on which they judge the institution and then they provide the ranking. Okay, so measures, teaching and learning resources means measures the quality of teaching and learning environment of that institution, assess the research output, quality of publication, professional practice within the institution. Then graduation outcome means evaluate the success rate of students. Okay, in terms of graduation, job placements from that particular institution, how many students were posted to well-known institutions and all. Then outreach and inclusivity means that examines the institution's inclusiveness regarding gender, whether everyone is getting an opportunity to learn in that particular institution, gender basis and social diversity, and based on different backgrounds, whether everyone has the access in that particular institution. Perception, PR, that means gauges the reputation of the institution among peers and among the public and employers and everyone, how they are viewing that particular institution. What is the viewpoint regarding that institution? So these are the parameters, TLR, RP, GO, OI, and PR. Okay, keep this in mind. Just need to understand this, and when the question is being asked, just have the information to pick it from the option. Okay. So this is the latest NIRF ranking. So in the overall category, the number 1 position goes to IIT Madras, and engineering also IIT Madras, management IIM Ahmedabad, medical IIMS Delhi, law the National Law School of Inter University Bangalore, then colleges Hindu College. Consecutively, actually, this Miranda House was in the top position. previously. But now Hindu College Delhi emerged as the top college. Okay, and university overall university basis IISc Bangalore. So these are the top positions according to the latest NIRF ranking. Overall IIT Madras, engineering IIT Madras, management IIM Ahmedabad, medical IIMS Delhi, law the National Law School of Indian University, then colleges Hindu College, which emerged as the top position surpassing which college, that can be asked earlier which and now which one surpassed it. Okay, Miranda was consecutively in the top position, and Hindu College surpassed that. Okay, university basis IISc Bangalore. Okay. And these are some new categories that was introduced. Okay, so now category wise, overall category, university, that means engineering is a category, that means then management, medical, law, university, all these are the categories. Okay, so there were actually certain categories based on which this award was, this position was given, and now they have added three more categories, and now the total categories are 16. Okay, now the total category is 16. This is the latest information. So what has been added in 2024? State Public University, Skill University, and Open University has been added in the categories. Okay, three new category has been added. Which are the three new categories? State Public University, Skill University, and Open University. So this question can be asked because this is a new information, something that happened in 2024. Three new category has been added in NIR. Okay, so based on which State Public University, which is the number one. Anna University, Chennai is the number one. Then skill-based university, Symbiosis Skills and Professional University is the number one. And Open University, our IGNOU is the number one. Okay. So go through the NIRF ranking and go to that website and just go through these informations. Okay, or after the class I will give you the PPT. So just go through the information, only limited information, because this is a revision, only limited information is given. So just go through the information that is uploaded in the NIRF website. Okay, so you have to make a note on State Public University, Skill University, and Open University. Open University, it's easy. The number one position is IGNOU. Okay, State Public University, Anna University, Chennai. Skill University, Symbiosis Skills and Professional University. Okay. So what is the full form of Spark? Spark. This is a latest question. What is the full form of Spark? Okay, what is the answer? YouTube babies? I think net is slow because I'm not getting your answer. So what is the answer? Option B is the answer. Scheme for promotion of academic and research collaboration. Yeah, very good. Stashdeep, Anu. Okay, option B is the answer. It is a Spark is a scheme for the promotion of academic and research collaboration. Next question. Choose the oriented learning institute from the following. Which among the following is the oriented learning institute? We have discussed this in the classroom. So questions can be, you can expect question from this conventional education. So what are the ways through which conventional education can be imparted, based on the characteristics of conventional education. Then this non vocational education based questions can be asked. Then oriented learning institutions, such question can be asked. Okay, so what is the answer for this question? A, B, and D. Okay, let's check. A, Asiatic Society. B, Madras Sanskrit College. And D, Mythic Society. Very good. Tezpur University doesn't come under Oriental Learning Institute. So the answer is Asiatic Society, Tezpur University, and Mythic Society. Very good, everyone. Very good. Option A, B, and D. Okay. So next question is based on vocational education. Okay. So what is the full form of NCIVE? IVE. We can exclude some option which is not related to vocational. So what can be the answer? NCIVE. Option B, National Committee for the Integration of Vocational Education. NCIVE is a national committee for integration of vocational education. So this is the particular committee that has been developed for vocational based education. Okay. Next question, National Council for Vocational Education and Training is under. We have discussed about NCVET. So this NCVET comes under which ministry or which category it comes under? Which body our NCVET comes under? National Council for Vocational Education and Training. It comes under which body? Okay, mixed answers. C. Yeah, it is based on vocational training and skill development. So that is, the answer can be Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. Do you remember we have discussed this in class? In 2014, Prime Minister has inaugurated a particular ministry for a particular stream of education, for skill development and for vocational education and skill development. A particular ministry was inaugurated in 2014. So that is Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. And we discussed about what all are the bodies that comes under, the governing bodies that comes under this ministry. We have discussed that. Okay. So this is the latest question. So go through all the notes. So what is the answer? Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship is the answer. NCVET, National Council for Vocational Education and Training. It comes under Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. Okay. So, National Council of Vocational Education and Training is an autonomous, non-statutory and regulatory body under the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship for monitoring the institutions engaged in providing short-term and long-term educational training in vocational education and designing basic standards. So, in vocational education, what all standards are needed, how it should be operated, how the institution should be operated, all these comes under the NC, National Council for Vocational Training and all. And the regulatory body, it is a regulatory body that comes under Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. Okay. So the National Council of Vocational Education and Training, NCVET, notified on December 5, 2018. And we also explained about NSDA and as a agency that comes under the Ministry of Skill Development. We have discussed this in the classroom. Okay, so keep all this information in mind. What is the purpose of National Council for Vocational Education and Training, NCVT? It comes under which body, which ministry? It comes under Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. It was notified on December 5, 2018, and to ensure quality in the TVET. So this can be asked, what is TVET, Technical Vocational Educational Training. Okay, TVET means Technical Vocational and Educational Training. So what do you mean by NSDA, National Skill Development Agency? So what is the functioning of this agency? What are their role and all? We have discussed in our notes, and so please go through that. This area is actually important. Vocational skill-based area is important, and commission is important. Commissions can be connected. For example, goods dispatch. A question related to goods dispatch can be connected with our professional education, the development of the professional education. Based on that, a question can be asked, okay, in connection with goods dispatch. So commission is important, and all these statutory bodies, nodal bodies are important. So please go through all those areas. And types of universities, we can expect one question from types of university. So these are the important areas that you have to go through. Then NEP is important. NEP will be discussed separately by another teacher. Okay. So I hope everything is clear, and wish you all the best for your examination. How is your preparations going? Finished everything? Not yet. It is good. Yeah. Okay, revise. Don't get scared, because no one is going to give you 3 mark extra if you get panic. Okay, so it will only lose your mark, and you will be stressed out. So that will affect your examination. Be calm, be cool. It will be easy. Okay, whatever you have learned, only that will be asked. Be positive. It will be easy. Okay, take care, everyone. So whatever I have discussed as the important area, the focus area, please go through that. Okay. After covering those areas, you can read the rest. Those are the important areas. Okay. NIRF ranking, all these are important areas. Please go through that. Limited time we had. That's why I couldn't cover each and everything. Okay. Thank you so much, dears. Good night. Take care. You two babies also. Thank you for your cooperation. Hope the class was useful for you. I have given the focus area. Please go through that. Thank you. Thank you, dears. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, you two babies. Thank you so much. I'm winding up the session. Thank you.